Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing a mock draft post-combine edition. I think this is when we start to get some really interesting stuff happening with the combine and everything going on. When you start to see some guys fly up the boards that are going to be going quicker than you might think. But yeah, we'll just start with obviously pretty simple here. Caleb Williams going one, Drake May going two. I think that's going to be pretty much locked in the entire time. Jaden Daniels at three is the interesting fit. Not really sure if that's the way they want to go, but as of now, that's the plan. Then we start to get interesting here. This is seems to be a locked-in pick. We've seen people maybe potentially trading up to get a quarterback here, but I think Marvin Harrison kind of sticks in that spot. That top four is be pretty locked in. Now, as when it comes to pick five, a lot of people talking about tight ends. A lot of people talking about offensive tackles. Sorry, excuse me. He's talking about receivers. I'm talking about offensive tackles. Knowing Jim Harbaugh, he's going to go with, I believe it's almost a no-brainer, Joe Alt. I'm looking at his Raw score here. He had the 12th best Raw score out of 1,306 offensive tackles since 1987. So one of the best athletes in the history of the combine for his position. He is 6'7", absolute freak. We're gonna have him obviously go to the Chargers there. Type of guy you draft and you build around for an entire time. When you talk about how good of a guy Justin Herbert is, he can make people around him better. You want to keep that guy healthy and protected, so you're gonna go offensive line. Giants could go a weapon here, offensive tackle, but receiver here, but they're going to go JJ McCarthy. This is going to start to be a very popular pick by a lot of teams and a lot of people. I would imagine flying up the board, but yeah, I think that this is going to be a very common theme. Will be JJ McCarthy going higher and higher up boards. This is probably higher than I thought he was going to go, even from my video like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I knew that the Giants have really liked JJ. They have for a very long time. I've been talking about it on Twitter for about a year and a half now, how much the Giants love JJ. And hey, they're gonna take him at six. Might be a bit of a reach. This is coming from a Michigan fan, but hey, it is what it is. Now, offensive tackle probably going to be the pick here for Tennessee. I don't hate the idea of Olufushanu, but with some of these freaks at the receiver position, I'm going to quickly pull up their raw scores here because again, this is what everybody uses when it comes to these guys. A.D. Mitchell had a great combine. Thomas had a great combine. Roma Dunze had a really good combine, and I think he's going to be the pick here. Roma Dunze goes to Tennessee. They need a true threat. I don't know if DeAndre Hopkins, he might have an opt out or something, but he's not going to be there very much longer, I don't think, even if he does play this season. And offensive tackle, I feel like it's a little bit of a reach there. I would not be surprised if a tackle goes there that high, but right now we're just going to stay here. Edge rushers. I think this has been a pick I've done a few times before. Chop Robinson had a great combine. Jared Verse had a great combine. Dallas Turner had a great combine. And I think that Dallas Turner will be the pick here. You got a defensive coach coming in, probably to go defense. I know it's probably not a very crazy take, but that is just what we're going to do here. Speaking of the Bears here. Now, again, if I'm the Bears, you want to probably go offensive tackle here. I don't think they're going to. Um, I really do think a receiver could be on in play here with Malik Neighbors. But we're gonna go. What I think the smart thing would be to go Fashano or Brock Bowers, but they're gonna go Malik Neighbors here just because it's the Bears. They wouldn't really draft offensive linemen. It doesn't seem like a thing that they'd do, but it is what it is. But right off the board will be. See, Fashanu's problem was he had really small hands. I don't know if that's like that big of a deal in terms of certain draft nerds, but he had a pretty good comment as well. 4.94 on the Raws. Um, Only person who did it a lot better was, I believe, Tyler Guyton and Darius Mims did really good. So these two guys are going to slide up boards. But we're going to take Fashanu here at 10. Kind of a no-brainer. Vikings need some help. I think this is where we could see a corner come off the board. Not entirely sure who the top corner was in terms of stuff here. Oh, Jarian Jones. Well, Quentin Mitchell had a really good combine. It would be a bit of a reach for him, I think, here. I think he's, yeah, down here at 15. But the way the Vikings play, mostly Flores on the defense, they love their corners doing a lot of work. So we're gonna go Quentin Mitchell here. Probably a bit of a reach, but I think he just kind of fits with his system and how he does and how he plays. He being Mr. Flores, the D coordinator. Broncos here. I think that a tight end would be a good call here if they go Brock Bowers, but he's just such a weird fit with all these offenses. Broncos need a QB. They might have to be stuck with Russell Wilson. And I would not be surprised if they trade up for JJ. But in this scenario, gosh, a tight end would be great here. I think because they do use their tight ends pretty well. I think Bowers would be great in Denver. Yeah, with Troutman being the top tight end or Dolich, either one, they're going to go Brock Bowers here. I think this makes a lot of sense. The way that they throw the ball, I think of how Jimmy Graham was used under Sean Payton. I think that this is a good pick here. And if you get that Penix or a Nix or one of the younger guys, not even younger guys, like guys that aren't uh the top quarterbacks, so you bring in like a free agent to replace Russell Wilson, I think that giving him a good option, Brock Bowers would be a great thing. Sutton, Judy, and Johnson, Bowers, not let alone Mims too. I mean, that's a good group of receivers and good core right there. Defensive guy here with Burke, with obviously new head coach, Mr. Pierce. They're going to go Terry and Arnold. Bit of a low pro day. I didn't really think it was the best for him, or not pro day, but bit of a worry there. The combine didn't do the best, but I think he's plenty good as a player, and I think he'll go to the Raiders no problem. Good fit too. And the Raiders always take guys from Bama, it seems like, so put him there. Saints tackle Thais Fayuga. Don't overthink it. I almost wanted to go Mims here based on how good of combine he had, but yeah, pretty simple there. Colts corner and edge rusher, as it sees here, is their big thing that they're looking at here. Um, I don't think he had that good of a combine other than the 40 was Mr. Wiggins in terms of his RAS. If he puts a lot of weight on, he'd do good, but I think he's going to slide because of that. Jared Verse, freak animal, freak athlete, the guy you type of need. I mean, this dude's an absolute home wrecker, game wrecker, everything. Keep him there in Indy, staying there from the combine, but yeah, great fit for him here. I think again, you got to really terrorize some of these quarterbacks in that league. You got who else is in that division? You got Will Levis. Um, God, it's slipping my mind. CJ Stroud and Trevor. Bunch of young quarterbacks. Obviously, you got one as well. Might as well get some big edge rushers there to, put fear of God in those quarterbacks. Seattle, another team that would need some help in terms of edge rushers. Laitu Latu stays up there. I know he was at Washington in college and then went down to UCLA for a year after medically retiring and then back up. So a bit of a homecoming for him, I guess you could say, with him being there for college for a little bit, but it is what it is. This is where Nate Wiggins comes off the board. Fast corner. I think it's a good thing there for him. And Wiggins is the guy there. Darius Mims goes here, helping protect Joe Burrow. Freak athlete, really good RAS. I'm looking here. Dude ran a 4.0740 when he comes in at 340, 6'7". That's insane. One of the better combine performances we've seen in a long time. I think he's like top 5 all time in terms of combine. So good on him. And it goes over there to the Cincinnati Bengals. Rams need a corner. This is where we're gonna have one of the bit of this falls, like you could say, of Cooper DeJean, excuse me. He's gonna go here, number 19, to the Rams. Help, I guess, fill the void of Jalen Ramsey from a few seasons back. Steelers also need a corner. They also need interior alignment. I would really not be surprised if they did something crazy here and took a quarterback, but I don't think that they're really going to do that. I would start putting in some trades now, but I don't think it's really all what you need there. But if they're going to take a tackle here, we're going to take Tyler Guyton. Again, really good combine. He'll slide up there the board big time, help up that offensive line. He had a 9.74 RAS. He was 6'7", 322 with a 34-inch vertical, which is his highest thing there. And his 10-yard split, which is kind of all you need for a lineman. I don't know if that's me being casual, was 1.76 seconds. That's pretty good. So now going to Miami. Another team that needs offensive line help. Latham, the fall could probably end here. I wouldn't be surprised if they take an interior offensive lineman either with Mr. Powers Jackson. They always could go crazy and they could go edge rusher here. With Phillips, I think it's Phillips, right? He tore his ACL, or it was Chubb. Chubb tore his ACL, and then obviously they're releasing Xavier Howard. And I wouldn't hate if they went corner here either. But I think they're just gonna, keep two upright, go get JC Latham from Bama. Um, Probably a bit of late over, a bit of a rollover with Tua there, I think maybe. I don't know. They had a ton of Bama guys, same with Waddle. So keep the Bama culture going. Eagles, they gotta go corner here. Kool-Aid McKinstry, I think, is pretty much your only option. Rick Straw didn't have as good of a combine as people wanted him to have, I believe. Yeah, he didn't come up here on here. Um, Kool-Aid had a bit of a fracture in his foot. I think it was like some sort of stress fracture thing. So we're gonna have him go right there, pick 2022 off the board. Help shore up that brutal secondary last year's. I mean, when you lose to Baker Mayfield in the playoff game, no disrespect to Baker, great guy, but come on. Chop Robinson, he's going to go off the board here to the Texans. Freak combine. Dude ran like a 4.4, something absolutely insane. You love to see that for him, making a ton of money, doing his thing. I love when Big Ten guys do good, outside of one school, of course. But once you get out of the whole college game, I have no problem rooting for guys like that. But great to see that he's doing his thing. And yeah, we move on now to Dallas. Now this one's gonna be a bit of an off the wall selection here. I'm gonna have them take. You might think I'm crazy. Keon Coleman. Now, why is it that crazy? He had a full-on interview on the field with Michael Irvin. They had a full thing. It's like, oh, I gotta get my boy in the Cowboys, blah, 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 doing this whole thing. It's simple. Like he makes a lot of sense. He's like a flashy red zone type guy, big receiver, what they kind of need. Him and CeeDee Lamb in the red zone. Oh my goodness, it would help, alleviate their running problems. I think it'd be an absolutely great fit. So we're gonna have them take him there. Green Bay Packers taking NS Rickestraw, the corner out of Mizzou, helping up potentially Jair Alexander leaving. I don't even know what his exact situation is, but I know he's been doing some crazy things recently. So with him out, they're going to move and replace him with Rick Straw. Tampa Bay needs some receivers. Bit of a fortunate fall here in my mock draft. Brian Thomas will be the pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it's a simple fix there for them. Um, Dude's an absolute freak. I think I have the receivers going a bit lower than I thought in most of these drafts, but there's so many good receivers in this draft that I think guys are going to fall through the cracks. Like Brian Thomas is an incredible player. And the fact he's going 26 in my mock is crazy, but other positions have a bit more value, I think, in this time. So I don't know. That's just me. No disrespect to Brian at all. I mean, dude's a hell of a player. Had an unbelievable combine. I mean, looking at his raws here, he had where'd it go? I don't know why they're putting receivers all the way at the bottom of this list here. Sorry. He had a 9.97, second behind one other player who's going to be picked soon. Arizona, I'd love them to take another receiver, but they're not going to. In this scenario here, they are going to take, excuse me, here while we load, they're going to be taking a D lineman here, Jazarian Newton. I think it's a good fit for him. Bigger guy, helps with not Shane Steichen, who's the guy? Jonathan Gannon, right? His defensive coach, but you got to help that offense a little bit. But getting Newton pick a 27 here, great steal, great value. Bills going receiver. Now, there's a bit of a debate here, and the debate is with myself. I think Leggett would be a good fit. Probably a reach, but I think it's fine. Troy Franklin's okay. AD Mitchell is 9.98. What's it called? Roz. Unbelievable. Then you've got Xavier Worthy ran a 4.2540. Could you imagine Xavier just running super deep routes with Josh Allen's nuke of an arm? I think that'd be unbelievable. And it's so unbelievable that we're gonna pass on him. I just made a split decision here. They're going AD Mitchell. I want AD Mitchell on the Lions so bad, but I think that he goes the pick before. AD Mitchell's a bit of a burner. 4.4, I think, if not a little bit faster. I think 4.35 actually, but he was moving and he's a big kid, 6'4", a little bit skinnier, but taller, right? So he's a big body, can do his whole thing. Really good replacement for Gabe Davis, who's likely gone. A bit better, I think, honestly. I know it's probably a little crazy, but I think AD Mitchell in Buffalo would be an excellent fit, and Bills would have great two new additions last season, bringing in Dalton Kincaid around this this range, and then you bring in AD Mitchell. Come on, come on. Lions here, you got to go corner. There isn't any on the board. I've been talking about this. I would not be surprised if the Lions flew up for a corner. They're instead going to take Darius Robinson. Now, this makes a lot of sense. Kids from Michigan, um, grew up a Lions fan. The website for Michigan, the Detroit Lions website even wrote about him, and they're like, "Hey, this is the guy we're targeting, him and Chop Robinson." Well, I'm sorry, Chop Robinson's gonna be gone because that guy had an unbelievable combine, made himself millions, and slid way up the boards. And I think Robbins is a pretty good fallback option. Can play inside if needed, can play outside. Just anybody that can help poor old Aiden Hutchinson get to the quarterback is a good guy in my book. So we're gonna have him go there. Um, Ravens, they could need a receiver as well. Lamar running around with Xavier Worthy would be insane. He's still gonna fall here, and I think everyone knows where he's going at this point. But Byron Murphy will be coming off the board here, helping shore up that crazy Ravens D line. Bit of a The Ravens have like they don't really need Burt Murphy, right? But he's a really good talent, and he's fallen down the board pretty well. He's a bit of a lighter and smaller D tackle. He's gonna get Aaron Donald comps, I'm sure, just because of the lack of his size at his position. But you can maybe move him in, be a little bit of an edge there. I'm sure they'll have a crazy scheme going on. I was about to say Mike McDonald will scheme up for him, but obviously he's not there anymore. So we'll pass there on that one. And we've got 2 picks left. The San Francisco 49ers. I think a great spot for them right here would be taking one of the centers. You've got, or interior guys. You got Powers Johnson and you've got Graham Barton. I think Powers Johnson, great fit here. Cooper Beebe, I would not be surprised. He had a great combine as well. Probably going to go early second, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes up there. But Powers Johnson's got a bit of flexibility inside, so I think that he will be the pick there. And then there's the pick. Everyone knows what's coming here. The Kansas City Chiefs will be taking Xavier Worthy. Dude ran a 4.25. He was commenting on Mahomes' this stuff before it all. Then during the combine, Mahomes, the only tweets Mahomes basically had in the entire combine, not even his Texas Tech guys going fast, or them making fun of him really on the broadcast of how slow his 40 was. Was talking about how good Xavier Worthy was. So we'll take Xavier Worthy to end that draft there. That's pretty much all we have here. I'll go back, I guess, to the top, and you can see what the Bears did here, going Williams and Neighbors. Again, I was a little bit lower on the receivers because I think there's so many of them. It's just tough to differentiate them. So I think I'm gonna start doing some tier lists soon. I'll do probably a Michigan Combine wrap up tomorrow. And yeah, we'll start getting into some more heavy draft stuff as requested by my good friend Chief of Propaganda. So I will get into that now. But thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.